one solitary figure in an ocean of velvet and plumes. At this year's Garter Day ceremony, Prince Andrew walked alone, not just separated by a few paces from the working royals, but isolated in a bubble of his own making. The cameras captured the distance, the strained smiles, the absolute silence from the palace about his role. But back at the 30-room royal lodge he's clinging to, a far more expensive and damning story was unfolding. A lifestyle hemorrhage so severe, it's forcing his own brother, the king, into a brutal, final confrontation. We're talking about a rumoured £6 million evaporated in just 2 years. For Royal Family Daily, this isn't just a story about money. It's a forensic look at a royal entitlement hitting a brick wall of modern reality and the one man who refuses to see it coming. Let's break down that shocking number, because it didn't vanish in one transaction. It was a slow, relentless bleed. The first massive wound was the legal battle itself, a team of top-tier lawyers fighting a case the palace knew was unwinnable in the court of public opinion. Then, the settlement. A reported £12 million to Virginia Giuffre, a sum so vast it stunned observers. And here's the critical detail often missed, that money didn't come from Andrew's pocket. Insiders consistently report it was drawn from the late Queen's private reserves, the Duchy of Lancaster, her final, desperate attempt to protect her son and make the problem go away. But that was just the initial payout. The real drain is the upkeep. Royal Lodge isn't just a home, it's a sprawling estate with a history and a price tag to match. The heating bill for a Grade 2 listed 30-room mansion is astronomical. The grounds require a small army of gardeners. The swimming pool, the maintenance, the security infrastructure, it all adds up to an estimated £400,000 a year, every year. And that's before you account for his personal staff, his transport, and the invisible costs of a life still being lived like he's a frontline royal. This is where the £6 million figure crystallises, a tsunami of legal fees followed by the constant dripping tap of a lifestyle completely out of sync with his status. That mansion is now the physical symbol of a feud shaking the foundations of the Windsor family. To King Charles, Royal Lodge is a monument to unsustainable excess, a glaring, leaky liability on the royal balance sheet, occupied by the institution's single greatest reputational risk. But to Andrew, it's his last redoubt, his fortress. Granted a 75-year lease by his mother in 2004, he sees it as a birthright, not a privilege. Palace insiders describe meetings that go in circles. Charles, backed by his financial advisors, presents the cold numbers. Andrew, they say, responds with emotion, with a sense of historic entitlement, with outright fury. He is, according to one report, in a state of perpetual denial. The king wants the house back, not just to save money, but to send an unmistakable message. The era of indulgence is over. The true turning point wasn't a legal verdict or a palace memo. It was a death. The Queen's passing didn't just bring a new monarch, it vaporised Andrew's entire safety net. The bank of Mum, his ultimate financial and emotional shield, closed forever. Charles's approach is fundamentally, ruthlessly different. Where the Queen operated on a mother's love and a desire for family harmony, Charles operates on the survival logic of a CEO. The slimmed-down monarchy isn't a slogan, it's a war plan. And in that plan, a non-working royal with Andrew's baggage isn't just unnecessary, he's an active threat. The brotherly bond has been subsumed by the monarch's duty. Empathy has been replaced by audit. Inside Royal Lodge, staff whispers tell a story of a parallel reality. The routines established decades ago, when Andrew was a globe-trotting trade envoy with a full sovereign grant allowance, simply continued. The expectation of certain standards, the social entertaining, the helicopter travel to golf games, habits of a bygone era. There were, of course, directives to cut costs, but insiders suggest implementation was fraught. How do you tell a prince he can't heat that wing of the house? How do you scale back a security detail he insists is vital? The funding became a patchwork quilt. The Queen's subsidies, Sarah Ferguson's remarkably successful tea time media deals and novel royalties, and perhaps, it's been suggested, drawing on his own diminished reserves. A precarious financial structure holding up a crumbling facade. This financial siege is merely the most tangible symptom of a profound familial exile. Look beyond the bills and examine the choreography. Andrew was pointedly not invited to the state banquet for the South Korean president. At Trooping the Colour, he was on the balcony only briefly, positioned at the very edge. Palace communications refer to him only as the Duke of York, a deliberate stripping away of his Royal Highness style in all practical terms. Every move is a calculated signal to the public, and more importantly, to Andrew himself. You are no longer part of this working institution. The emotional fallout, according to those who claim to be in his circle, is one of deep betrayal and bewilderment. He feels, they say, cast adrift by the family he once served. So, what is the endgame? The consequence is now brutally clear: eviction. Andrew is being moved, not to another palace, but to Frogmore Cottage, the former home of Harry and Meghan. The symbolism is savage. He's being relocated to a property synonymous with another royal rupture. His income will be slashed to its core: a £250,000 naval pension and whatever Sarah can generate commercially. The palace calculus is cold but clear. Reduce his footprint, reduce his costs, and, hopefully, reduce his capacity to generate headlines. But here's the unsettling, lingering question this entire saga forces us to confront. Prince Andrew has become the monarchy's most expensive lesson in accountability. He is a living case study of what happens when unexamined privilege meets irreversible scandal. King Charles, in forcing this confrontation, has shown a ruthlessness his mother could never stomach. He has proven the institution will sever its own limbs to save the body. For Andrew, the money is gone. The protection is gone. The status is gone. Yet, the risk remains. A man accustomed to that level of entitlement, backed into a corner in a smaller house with a much smaller life. Is that truly a stable end to the crisis? Or is it merely the prelude to a final, unpredictable act of defiance? The king may have won the battle for Royal Lodge, but the war for a clean, quiet exit for Prince Andrew might just be beginning. The king's ruthless strategy doesn't stop with Andrew. Up next, we're investigating the 4 royal relatives Charles is reportedly preparing to cut off completely. The monarchy is getting smaller, and the fallout will be dramatic. Make sure you're subscribed to Royal Family Daily and hit the notification bell so you don't miss it.